Donald Trump. So Donald Trump, in all honesty, is a law and order candidate. If you do not know what a law and order candidate is, a law and order candidate is basically a candidate that makes sure, excuse my language, but makes sure that everything stays the same. They are the extreme traditionalists, the Republicans of the Republicans, the most conservative branch of the conservative branch. I would even argue more conservative than those who consider themselves to be constitutionalists or economists or things of that nature, whatever, right? A law and order candidate usually destroys things that is not in favor of the laws of the land. And regardless of if you believe in systematic racism or not, historically speaking, the law and order candidate has never been good for our community. And this is what I mean by that. So examples of the law and order candidate is the first, Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon did a lot of terrible stuff, particularly the Southern Strategy, which destroyed all of our leaders. That's including the Panthers with Fred Hampton. That's including Malcolm X. That's including Martin Luther King, etc. The list goes on. The Southern Strategy was used to destroy our leaders, as well as the hippies and etc. The list goes on. Then we go to Reagan. He was a law and order candidate. Reagan made the Say No to Drugs or War on Drugs. During that particular time, it is historically proven that drugs was not a big problem in America before Reagan's presidency. However, due to the war on drugs, you saw many absent fathers, you saw a whole crack pandemic, and on top of that, you saw inner cities from Los Angeles to New York City constantly being burned, constantly being rioted, and etc. The list goes on to the point that it was hard for those people to live out there. Then after that, you have Bill Clinton's 3-strike rule. He was a law and order candidate, which is so tripped out because as much as we invite Bill Clinton to the cookout, he was still against us politically. He made the 3-strike rule, and then the 3-strike rule caused many black men to go to jail, and it was just only on weed possession, bro. The law and order candidate has never been and it will never be for us. The law and order ideology dates back all the way to the 1800s, and basically law and order was a party that was to make sure that everything went well, everything went cope and steady, but there were some extremists that did believe that those who disobey the law deserve death. Hence, the death penalty, which was later on structured into something else that it wasn't before, which was the chair and the lynchings and things of that nature. Very horrendous things in our history. The law and order candidate is not our friend. He is a wolf, not even in sheep's clothing. It's very obvious. And the fact that Trump has extended his law and order candidate ideology with giving police immunity, and although many Trump supporters would even argue by saying he didn't say he would give police immunity, he would say for those particular cases that were too close to call, that's who we would get immunity to. But even close cases don't deserve immunity. Because if there was a close case where you were almost guilty, you should still be penalized for that. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, I'm gonna be frank like Sinatra with you. When I'm looking at Trump, I can clearly tell I'm not his demographic of people that he's trying to appeal to. But when I look at Kamala, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Not only do I feel like my intelligence is being questioned, but I also feel like I'm watching a minstrel show. Like, I feel that the whole concept of blackness is being used as this marketing tool to the point that we as the culture should not be supporting her like this. And the fact that we even have some people in our culture comparing her to Barack Obama and et cetera, the list goes on, is outrageous to me, bro. Like, how is this even happening? Like, why is this happening? And then, of course, you can say, well, Kamala's all that we have. But at the same time, let's keep it real. Like, let's be real with ourselves. I don't expect nothing from a Kamala Harris White House as much as I do not expect anything from a Trump White House. But at the same time, and on the same token, whenever I look at a Kamala Harris rally, I feel like I'm being pandered to so much to the point that I just want to stop for a minute, come up to her and be like, sis, you don't even have to do this. Like, come on. Both tickets, both parties, in my personal opinion, are horrendously not for the culture. Now, if you were to ask me, who do I endorse? I do not endorse nobody. Especially not the Democratic Party. But who am I voting for? As of right now, I would be voting for Kamala Harris. But the only reason why I'm voting for Kamala Harris as we're speaking right now is because of the police immunity thing. Because in all honesty, if it was not for the police immunity thing, I would be voting for Donald Trump right now as we speak. I think the culture needs to wake up. And quite frankly, although I consider myself to be a conservative, I am wishing that America comes to a true democracy and that these two parties, Republican and Democrat, are not the only parties that we are working with. We have had these ideologies and we have upheld these ideologies for too long. It's time for a change. Thank you so much for watching the Friday show. Today we had a lot of inconvenience as far as technical difficulties and many other things, but thank you for the support. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for everything and all those who have supported and have shared it on their Instagram pages and things of that nature from the first episode that we had. But again, follow me at officially Blair I. Jackson _. Also follow me on Facebook at Blair Jackson, and we will soon have a page directly for the Friday show. But again, hope you had a good day. Hope you had a good time watching this, and tell me what you think. Thank you.